Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. I'm Dr. Laura Shackelford, and we have got an amazing service today with wonderful, wonderful music. So right now, let's just turn it over to our wonderful and amazing singer, Jennifer Russell.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. How wonderful it is to be with you again. Little did we know we would be together in this way. But isn't it good to be together? I am so grateful, oh my goodness, that Reverend Charles Hall is with you now. I love you, Reverend Charles. I'm so grateful you're back here in Southern California. Reverend Charles and I were at Agape together many years ago, and I love this man. He is a man of God, and he is just the perfect person to be here with you now. I'm so grateful. And this is the perfect person to be with me. This is Michael Gale. He's my love, and he also produces all my music, so you're in for a real treat today. We're going to do a song called It'll Be All Right. Now let's remember that it is always all right, no matter what we hear. We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith, we declare it'll be all right. We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith, we declare it'll be all right. We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith, we declare it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Okay, was that amazing? That was so wonderful. So excited for her to do her next song. So Jennifer was wonderful. And so let me tell you what's going on this week at the center. At 10 o'clock, we're live every day. So on Monday, Reverend Charles is going to be having a talk. You'll be surprised on who that is. And then Tuesday, we continue our book study with Jeff Seeley, and Reverend Charles will be back. And he's on chapter 7 of the How to Be an Anti-Racist. So you don't want to miss that. They're having a great topic, so timely, so important to hear. And Jeff is such an amazing teacher on that. And with Reverend Charles, it's always fun. And then Wednesday, of course, we have our Sensational Six. And aren't they sensational? Every week they have an interesting, in-depth spiritual topic, and you don't want to miss that. So it's 10 o'clock on Wednesday. And on Thursday, Reverend Charles is having an in-depth conversation with Charles Holt. Charles has been to the center. He's an amazing singer, and he is a great speaker and lecturer. So you don't want to miss that on Thursday. And then, of course, on Friday, it's Reverend Charles, Life on Love, and always some insights, some sharing. You don't want to miss that. And Saturday, meditation. Please join us for that. It's important that you do your meditations. And then on Sunday at 11 o'clock, we have our virtual prayer rooms. So if you need one-on-one prayers, please come to that and join a practitioner for your prayer work. Miracles happen here every day. And some additional things that we are having is, don't forget our Power of 8. Those are on Wednesday. This is a great group for setting intentions and creating the life that you desire. And then on Thursdays, we have our Social 8s, where it's just kind of a fun gathering with some probative but fun questions to get a conversation going, not necessarily spiritual, just to kind of get to know your spiritual community in a fun, different way. And you can get all that information, times, and sign up for those on our website. So go to cslpalmdesert.org for more information. So mark your calendar. There's something always happening here at Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. So now let us do our mission statement. This is such an important part of our service because it centers us and reminds us what our divine purpose is here at Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. So please join me as we read it together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. So this is the point in our service where we go into meditation. So please be comfortable, find a seat, sit down. Let's take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And let us open our hearts and quiet our minds so that we are preparing ourselves to hear today's message. Whatever's going on, everything is perfect right here, right now, in this moment.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done and everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, and everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to this new beginning here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Right here, right now, in this sacred moment, I recognize this one life, this one power, this creative force, this divine intelligence that permeates everything and is everything. And that this creative force, this creative energy, this creative intelligence is expressing by means of me. I am one with it. And I know because I am one with it and it is one of everything, it is also within you, around you, is you. So I declare that all is unfolding perfectly. I declare that life is right on track and that we are creating this life with our positive thoughts, with our love, with our vision of a world that works for everyone. I know that Spirit is listening to us and always saying yes. So I focus my thoughts on the good, on the gratitude, on all that I have, each breath that I take, every view that I see. It is Spirit reflecting back to me its magnificence. And so knowing that this is the truth, I focus on that which I want. I live in the future, that future vision of a life and a world that works for everyone. And I know that this is true, and I am grateful. I am grateful for this realization, for this Spirit, this intelligence, this Creator that loves us and always says yes. So I know that this is a truth. I know that life is unfolding perfectly and in divine right order, and I am grateful. So knowing this is the truth, I release my word as law, knowing that that perfection is unfolding here and now and always. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your truth will light my way. And your love will light my way. And your joy will light my way. And your Your truth will light my way. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Thank you, Jennifer, for another amazing song, so inspirational. So you have been receiving so much this morning, and you're going to be even receiving more good. So this is the time in our service that law of circulation is at play, and it is your opportunity to give in gratitude for all that you receive from us, from the universe, because what we know is what we put out in the universe comes back to us pressed down and overflowing. So there's so many ways here that you can give. You can just donate by hitting the button there. You can pay on PayPal. You can send a check to the center. You can call the center with your credit card information. We appreciate and we are so grateful for all the support that you give every day, every week to keep our programs going. Thank you.
Okay. We're social distancing. We're practicing. This is how we make sure that we're doing the right things. So I want to let you know that myself and on behalf of Dr. Laura and of course Dr. Joe, that we have got a special coming up next Sunday for our new ministerial graduates who are now actually our new reverends. They've all been issued letters of call, have signed them, and we've signed them. That we'll be having a special virtual installation for them with some cool videos next Sunday. So make sure and tune in next Sunday as we have this very special installation of our 6 new ministers here to bless and support our center. Thank you.
So just sit back, relax, open your hearts and your minds to this great talk by Reverend Charles.
All right, Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. So great to be with you for another day, another wonderful Sunday here in the Coachella Valley. We're blessed that the sun once again has arisen over Indio. And we have another opportunity to share this glorious time together. We've heard from Jennifer Russell. We've heard from Dr. Laura. We have such a magnificent team here at the center that we're blessed with talent, with treasure, with so much consciousness, beautiful flow, an excellent team. For so long, before I came to this center back in January and started the process earlier than that at the end of October of coming here, I was teamless for a while, and I realized I was just away for about a week. One of the reflections I had while I was taking some private time with my family was that I grew up in a team environment. I grew up in organized sports, organized team activities where we had coaches and referees and teammates and competition and things like that, and how formative that is and how important it is to have your team, to have a team. And for a number of years before I came here, I was operating without a team. I think I've shared pretty significantly with this community how I was kind of wandering in the wilderness for about 3 years and lost. Didn't know what my purpose was. I'd been in ministry for most of my life. I couldn't find the joy in it any longer and decided to resign from the post from the church that I started, that I put blood, sweat, and tears into up in Seattle. Resigned from that. And then I kind of went off on a different adventure, took a sharp turn and went to a golf business school because I didn't know what else to do, quite frankly, at that point. Had a team environment there with classmates and things, but then when that was over, felt even more lost because I wasn't sure really what to do next. And started to isolate. I started to isolate, which is a dangerous thing, especially for somebody like me who so much thrives to be in a collaborative situation, to be in collaborative situations. So I kind of put my head under the covers for a few years and realized once again how important team is. And the team can look like anything, but what team does is we support each other. What team does is we cheer each other on. And what coaches do in a team environment, in a community environment, is they course correct. They encourage when there's encouragement needed, when it's time to encourage, and they coach, they course correct when it's time for a course correction. And I love the whole idea, the literal experience of team, but also the idea of team and how it's so important for each one of us when we walk through the times of our lives. So one of the ideas that I want to introduce to you this morning is an idea called punctuated equilibrium. It's a scientific term, punctuated equilibrium. And essentially what it says is that something is existing in a state of stasis, in some stable state for a period of time, and then something happens where a leap, an evolutionary leap, almost instantaneously takes place that brings it out of that stable state that it was in. And again, it's not good or bad. It's not thriving or not thriving. It's simply something that exists in a stable state for a period of time. And then there's this moment of evolution that happens, an evolutionary leap. That's the moment of punctuated equilibrium. Now, my story was I was in a stable state for about 3 years, but my stable state looked like depression, and it looked like being lost, and it looked like confusion. Now, that's a stable state. Now, some might say, oh, poor Reverend Charles, or wasn't that horrible, or whatever it is, but many times, I can look at many times in my life where I've existed in a stable state of thriving, of financial prosperity, of goodness and gladness and happiness. That's a stable state as well. And then a moment of punctuated equilibrium takes place, and we either we evolve somehow one way or another. That there's a moment of change, of significant change. Now, my story, which by the way, my story and the word mystery are only differentiated by one letter. My story and mystery are two different things separated by only one letter. My story is that, and I'm going to come back to that. My story was that I couldn't find the joy in the ministry anymore and then resigned and then went into this stable state of being lost and depressed. All the while, there was a cry during that time, a cry from my heart, help me, universe, help me, God, I want to be free. I want to be free of this. Show me some sign, show me some light, show me some direction. And it didn't come, and it didn't come, and it didn't come, but all the while I'm in this stable state, in this mystery state of depression and confusion and being lost for about 3 years. And then something happened, a moment of punctuated equilibrium, where I've shared that Dr. Ken Gordon, who this community loves and knows so well, shot me an email and said, hey, there's this position coming open in a little while. Why don't you reach out and throw your name into the hat? Boom, in that moment. Now, for those 3 years, I really didn't have any sort of sign. I didn't have any sort of inspiration. My story was a tremendous mystery because there was a cry of my heart of show me something, show me something. And you can imagine when there's a deep, profound cry of your heart, and many of us know this, a deep, profound cry of your heart, and you're not seeing any evidence for the cry. That you're praying and praying for financial solvency, that you're praying and praying for a great and beautiful partner to show up in your life, that you're praying and praying for that health condition that's been there for so long to finally be healed, that you're praying and praying that you find a sense of purpose again, but nothing happens. How friggin' frustrating is that? On a scale of 0 to 10, it's a 45. And if you've experienced that, you know it. Extraordinarily frustrating. The end game was that, for me in that moment, in that process, was that email that I received from Dr. Ken. That moment of punctuated equilibrium where finally the cries of my heart had to meet the right conditions for me to move forward into my next greater yet to be, which ends up being here with you magnificent people. Which ends up me being here, having this opportunity to share my heart with you and for you to share your heart with me. And I want to ask you this morning, what is the cry of your heart right now that is seeking to emerge from you where you don't seem to have an answer? Where you don't seem to have, where you're living in the great mystery, the unknown, the untold, the unknown part of your life right now, where your story truly is living in the mystery. And you're crying out for that moment of punctuated equilibrium. You're still crying out for it. Your prayers are even more earnest now. Hold on, I'm the answer, says God. Scripture says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the universe build the house, they labor in vain that build it. What does that mean? What is the Lord in this? It's the inspiration. It is the deep cry. And those moments of demonstration happens when the right conditions and circumstances, through the earnest movement of our heart, through our final willingness to accept a greater good, through a determination and a firm and fierce expectation, takes hold of us. And then that moment of punctuated equilibrium takes place. It's a mystery, though. There's an equation for this, but what happens after the equal sign is the mystery. There's the desire of my heart. There's the clear intention that I have to be financially solvent, healthy, whatever the thing might be, but we don't know exactly the timing of when things are going to show up. Hold on, I'm the answer. In those moments, that's the Lord. In those moments of real prayer and of seeking to receive insight and that inspiration, those are the moments of the Lord. And except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. That is, it's not just my willpower or not just my efforting or that I'm the smartest kid in the room or whatever it might be. It's an inspiration. It's actually an alignment with the universal spirit to express an ever greater good that is flowing from us more and more and more and more and more. So when that willingness, that real willingness, and when I look back at my time of crying out in the wilderness, what I saw, one of the reflections that I have is that a lot of my attention was put on the woe is me part of it. A lot of my attention was put on life has got me held down. And I actually would think about this scene from Rocky. I don't know what it was because I think there's 25 of them now. Rocky something, after Rocky was done boxing, he was talking to his son or something. He's like, the world's cold. I'm totally paraphrasing. The world's mean. And if it gets you down, it will hold you down. So you have to be responsible for getting up and fighting. Now that's his terminology. But that's his world, his universe. What we're talking about is I had to finally be responsible for standing up and fighting spiritually, fighting for my own life. Because there was a time where I didn't want to be alive, truly and completely. And I had to stand up and fight for my life to actually realize that no one and nothing else was going to make anything happen except me and my God, me and my connection with my universal source. To stand up and say, no, really, there is something for me. There is a way for me to express. There is a gift that I have to share. There is a song that I have to sing, and if I don't sing it, somehow the world's going to be incomplete. There's a song that you have to sing. And if you don't stand up and sing it, somehow the world's going to be incomplete. I think I just talked about that a couple weeks ago, but it still rings true. And what we find is we keep saying the same sermon over and over again anyway, because there's really only one sermon, that there is one power and presence, and that power and presence is your life. And you're here to share it. And I'm asking you again, I'm asking you right now, what have you been praying for so earnestly? What is your cry out? What is your deep desire that you don't seem to have any evidence for? Continue to clear the weeds. Continue to clear the weeds of doubt. Continue to clear out the weeds of fear that keep you from taking that risk or that keep you from having that conversation or that keep you from anything, so that that moment of punctuated equilibrium can happen. It's a mystery. We don't know how it's going to happen, but sometimes it does. Oftentimes it does when we become the place that is the ripe spot for it to happen. And it can also show up as kind of a reaction to external circumstances. Sometimes very difficult, challenging things happen in our lives that force us into a moment of punctuated equilibrium. Marriage, a new job, moving, death, a death of a loved one, that catapult us into a new paradigm where almost essentially life begs us to move into a new paradigm of living so that we can fully embrace what's happened. A shocking event. Sometimes we get shocked into a new paradigm. Sometimes we get shocked into a new expression of life. Sometimes we get shocked into needing to see things differently because life has changed out there. There's always something more to explore. And we either can be a catalyst for the newness to emerge. We can either be a catalyst for these moments of punctuated equilibrium through our sincere and earnest prayers and our meditation and reading and spiritual practice and things like this, and then something happens. Or sometimes we react to these moments and we're called to grow. We're called to live into a new paradigm. Become a greater you. Become the right place for a greater good and a demonstration to happen. And the greatest tool that we have, that I've mentioned over and over already in this sermon, the greatest tool that we have is called prayer, what we call affirmative prayer. And that is the movement of our heart. It's a movement of consciousness toward our good. Literally and figuratively. It's a movement figuratively in our mind where we're moving, we see ourselves, we talk ourselves into seeing our good. We talk ourselves into feeling our good. We talk ourselves into perceiving a greater good. And sometimes a prayer can be out when you take your long walk, that you're actually moving in the direction of your good by giving yourself a healthier body. That's the literal movement of prayer. You go for a run, you go to a yoga class. It's a literal movement of prayer, moving in the direction of your greater good. Putting $10 into your savings account is moving you into a direction of a greater good. Buying your beloved roses and making it a special event out of nowhere is a prayer of moving yourself into a greater good. And life will meet you there. And life will meet you as you move toward it. Your prayer is a catalyst for these moments of punctuated equilibrium. Your prayer is a movement of your mind and of your heart in the direction, and even, yes, your body, in the direction of an ever greater good, of an ever greater expression of your good, of an ever greater flow, of an ever greater love. I think another part of my story, another part of my mystery is that my daughter came along in a very shocking and surprising fashion. And I'm a better man for it now. But I had whiplash for a few years. Whoa, I'm a dad now? That was a moment of punctuated equilibrium, an evolutionary leap, overnight. Oh, and I gnashed my teeth and kicked and screamed at first. But it's the most beautiful blessing that's ever happened to me. I was forced in my prayer to move into a greater paradigm, into a greater perception of good. Can we take the moments of our lives somehow? I want to remind you that I gnashed my teeth and kicked and screamed for the first while, and then came to realize, oh, this is the greatest blessing that's ever happened to me. I wasn't prepared to be a dad. I wasn't ready for it. Talk about a shocker. Now it's the only thing I want to do is be an extraordinary dad to my daughter. That's all I want to do. And I was called into being a better man. I was called into being a greater human being. I was called into stewarding another life and being better here so that we could create a better future. And if you remember the conversation I had with Dr. Will Coleman a few weeks ago, that we can listen to our babies and hear them declaring the future. Hear them prophesizing, if you will, about the good that is to come through their imagination and through their beauty and the color and the inquisitiveness and the mystery of their lives. To pray ourselves, to see ourselves into our good. So consider, as we wrap this up here, consider, where are you in a stable condition in your life? Whatever it might be, your relationship's starting to get a little mundane, your primary relationship. You're not finding much joy in your job anymore. You haven't really taken care of your body in a while. Where are you in a stable state where you're being called into a greater good, where you know it because it's the cry of your heart? Where have you been in that state of stasis, where you've just been going along status quo, where you're ready for that moment of punctuated equilibrium? We're actually crying out for that moment of evolutionary leap, when you went from just getting by to thriving beyond even your current imagination. And what can you do about it now, today? Continue to just talk about the stable state that you're in? Continue to just go along with it and think about it and say, oh, this is just life. This is just the way it is. This is the deck of cards. These are the cards I've been dealt. Or spend some time in prayer, moving your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, all of you in the direction of your greater good. Moving through talking yourself into, to feeling yourself into, to putting on that piece of music that lifts you and inspires you, through watching that video that lifts you and inspires you. Just as an aside real quick, when I want to get pumped up, there's a golf shot by Tiger Woods that he hit on the 16th hole at the Masters in 2005. This impossible chip in, and it goes in, and he goes crazy, and the crowd goes crazy, and everybody, and I'm just like, at the end of that, I'm like, yeah, and I just want to go do something. That moves me in a direction out of that stable state, whatever it might be, even on a daily basis, moves me into a moment of actually being inspired, where I see life a different way, where I feel life a different way. So consider the tools at your disposal to actually become a catalyst for that moment that we don't know when it'll happen, but it will happen, of punctuated equilibrium, where you make that evolutionary leap into your greater good. Participate with it. Move with it. Through your prayers, through your study, through your spiritual practice. And I promise you that what will happen, even through the great mystery that is your story, the mystery that is my story, an ever greater good will continue to evolve and to express and to become your life. God bless you. I love you. Make it the best day ever. Peace.
Oh, that talk by Reverend Charles. Thank you, Reverend Charles. I believe that was the best talk he has given yet, and it was so inspiring, so could relate in so many ways in my life to what he was talking about. So let us say a closing prayer. I'm going to close this service with a prayer. Recognizing that power and that presence, that divine creative process that's within each and every one of us. We go to that place knowing that we are one with this divine, one with this creation. We are co-creating our lives. So we set that intention. And recognizing that sometimes we walk through that valley of darkness, knowing that we are being led to the light, knowing that Spirit hears our desires from our heart and our soul. We send out that energy, we send out that desire, knowing that it is in formation, it is coming, we are informing Spirit with our desires, and Spirit is saying yes. So we go through each of our days in that peace and that awareness, in that great anticipation for the newness, for the new experience that we already are carrying in our heart, knowing that all the parts are working, that Spirit is lining everything up in its perfection to unfold for us according to our imagination, according to the energy that we have sent out into the universe. So what is our vision? Our vision is one of peace and love and prosperity and perfect health, knowing that this is true, knowing that what we are doing is we are reaching out with our minds and our hearts to bring it into our physical awareness. I am so grateful for this teaching, for this talk that reminded me of the truth of who I am, of who we are as this collective consciousness, creating this world, creating a divine environment for everyone, that is filled with prosperity, joy, love, peace, and perfect health. So I know that this is true, and I am grateful. I am grateful for this teaching, for this awareness, for my life, for each moment that I am here being a part of this community, of this world. So I let go in calmness and in gratitude for all that I have and for all that is unfolding in its perfection, knowing it is all good because it is all God. I let go and let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you next week on Sunday.